And basically, if you take the wind sword and you attack, it like knocks him back. You just fall in a hole. Are you? Oh god, you're not alright, are you? Hey guys, it's Pat and welcome back to another mod showcase. And today we are going to take a look at the Cyan Warrior Swords Mod. This is definitely one of the coolest sword mods I've seen. It adds a ton of swords and you can even upgrade them and combine them as well. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff to show, so let's get started. The first one is the Earth Sword, and this can be upgraded to the Peaceful Nature Sword. And this can be upgraded one more time to the Wild Nature Sword. And you could actually see these actually do more damage too. This one's 7, 6, and 5. And they have more durability as well. So the first recipe. This one is just 2 dirt and a blaze rod. So kind of easy to make. And then you could take that sword. You add some saplings and some sugar canes and you've got yourself the next sword. Then you could take this one, put some cactus and sugar canes, and you have like the ultimate sword right here. So we're going to test all these out. And yeah, the last one is actually really powerful. So what I'm going to do is spawn in an iron golem. Should be able to take a lot of abuse. Alright, so if I hit him with the earth sword, all it does is do damage. It does 6 damage. And that's pretty good, but if you right click, it like summons dirt around. And this could be a way to like trap enemies and keep them away from you. And not only that, it puts resistance on you for 5 minutes, which is freaking great. If you get really lucky with this, you actually can get them caught in the dirt and they could die. It's happened to me a couple times. But yeah, guys, if you're wondering why I'm in creative, it's going to be easier for me to use milk like over and over again. Because a lot of these swords do give buffs. And I want to show you guys which ones do which. I don't want you to get like confused which sword gave me that buff. So this one right here, the Peaceful Nature Sword, the upgraded version. It does a little more damage. And it also puts confusion on them, which is nice, for 1 minute. But if I right click with this one, it puts wood around it instead, which is kind of cool. So yeah, a little bit more powerful. And this one is actually really helpful. If you attack with it, it does more damage, plus it poisons your enemy for 1 minute. And I mean, 1 minute of poison is a ton of damage. I mean, look how much he's taking. And not only that, when you use this one, cactuses around you. Basically, it's going to be like wherever you click with it. If I click with it like in front of me, you could trap an enemy in it. If you click around yourself, you could protect yourself with them. So kind of cool. And yeah, this one does a lot of damage because of the poison effect. So guys, I basically showed you how you can upgrade the swords, but now it's going to get a little bit more complicated, as you can see in this chest. Alright, so this one right here is the Fire Sword, which can be upgraded to the Meteor Sword. And then you can actually combine other swords. This right here is the Ender Fire. It's a combination of the Ender Sword and the Fire Sword together. And this one is the Meteoric Thunderstorm Sword. So yeah, things are going to get a little bit more confusing, but here are some of the recipes, like the Fire Sword. This one is just 2 blaze powder and a blaze rod. And the Meteor Sword is the upgraded version. So you take that sword, blaze powder, a blaze rod, and a fire charge. So we'll test these out and then we'll get to some of the other more complicated swords. But yeah, this one is pretty easy. So basically with the Fire Sword, you know, it lights them on fire. Probably what you imagined. I feel bad for the iron golems. I'm really torturing him. But with this one, you are going to get a buff on you when you right click. You are going to get fire resistance, and also it lights everything around you on fire, as you can tell. So yeah, kind of cool. You definitely could light your enemies on fire. So let me drink some milk. And this one right here, the just regular meteor, the Meteor Sword. This one's really similar, except I believe it shoots a fireball, like in front of you, as you can see, like right here. So it's like a gassed fireball. Extremely powerful. And if you right click, it does, you know, the same thing, basically. And I have fire resistance on myself once again. So definitely very cool. So I can shoot it at him like that, or I can use it on the ground and give myself fire resistance. So now we're going to take a look at the Ender Sword. The recipe for this one is Ender Pearls, Iron Ingots, Blaze Rods, and also a stick. And the Ender Portal Sword, Eyes of Ender, Blaze Rods, and of course it's like the upgraded version, so you need the original sword as well. And these can actually be pretty useful. So basically, with this one, the Ender Sword, you right click, it teleports you with an Ender Pearl, basically. And yeah, you can damage enemies with these, obviously. Sorry, Iron Golem. He had like 1 hit point left. Sorry about that. And yeah, so yeah, you can damage them with they're so injured. I have hurt them so bad. I'm starting to feel bad about it. But yeah, pretty strong sword, and you can teleport. This one right here, of course, is a little bit stronger, and it does something weird. It teleports your enemy in like a weird direction, like anywhere. Like, I have no idea where you're gonna go, but we're gonna see right now. And you are over there. It's really weird. They can end up behind you too, so be careful with your enemies. Iron Golem, did you disappear? There you are. So kind of cool. And also, if you right click with this one, it throws an Eye of Ender. So you can actually get to an Ender portal. That's why it's the Ender Portal Sword. Makes sense, doesn't it? Kinda unique, though. I haven't seen anything like that one before. The next one is the Thunder Sword. And the recipe for this is 2 redstone blocks and a blaze rod. But you can upgrade it to the Thunder Shock Sword. And this one, you kind of just surround it with redstone, so it's pretty easy to upgrade. So we'll grab these and test them out. Alright. So what I'm going to do is summon in like a bunch of spiders. I think that'll be good. A bunch of spiders. Because this can kill a lot of stuff at the same time. And yeah, you can normally attack with it. It doesn't do anything special. But if you right click on the ground, bam. Lightning all around. And it actually puts speed on you and fire resistance for like 2 seconds. So you know you're not like injured by it too. But yeah, it's definitely very cool. And the upgraded version's kind of like a bigger, like, lightning explosion. It's pretty sick. So let me spawn a bunch more spiders here and use the Thunder Shock Sword. Like, yeah, this is pretty powerful. And once again, you get the same buffs on you. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with some of these weapons. This one is the Wind Sword. And the recipe is iron ingots, blaze rods, feathers, and a stick. But you can upgrade it to the Wind Blast Sword. Yeah, in this one, you're going to need gunpowder, feathers, and blaze rods. And once again, you can upgrade it to the Wind Whirl Sword. And this one, you're going to need gas tiers and feathers. But yeah, I really like when there's like 3 upgrades. It's so much fun to be able to upgrade your weapons. So I'm going to grab all these, and we are going to test them out. And yeah, these ones are actually pretty unique and very cool to mess around with. So I'm going to summon in a couple witches right here. And basically, if you take the Wind Sword and you attack, it like knocks them back. You just fall in a hole. Are you? Oh god, you're not alright, are you? I'm really sorry about that. I definitely didn't try to do that, it just happened. But basically, oh man. If you right click with it, it's gonna shoot you like into the air and you get speed and jump boost. You can actually go really high like this. In survival, you might want to be careful flying into the clouds though. Just saying. Just saying. So I'm gonna take this off. And this one right here is the Wind Blast Sword. So basically, same thing. I think it knocks him back a little further, maybe. Not sure, but it's definitely cool. Come back here. And if you right-click with it, this one makes an explosion. A powerful explosion. So definitely very cool. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you get the same buffs with this, too. Oh, you actually get resistance, because that makes sense, because of the explosion. So you get that for a few seconds. So let me take this off, and we'll go to the most powerful one. And this one right here... I'm sorry, pig. I must do this. And yeah, it does a lot of damage, and it knocks him back far. But when you right-click, this one actually shoots him back on the right-click. There's a bunch of sheep here. So you have to right-click directly on him. And that didn't work that good. Come here. There we go. It really knocks him far away when you right-click directly on them. And let's try to get a whole bunch together. There's like 4 right here. And some chickens. Just right-click, and everything should shoot like really far away. It's pretty cool. So yeah, these ones are definitely really fun to mess around with. Plus, you could run really fast, which is always awesome. So now we're on to the Water Sword. And the recipe for this one is 2 buckets of water and some glass and also a stick. But you can upgrade it to the Ice Sword. Just snowballs, so pretty easy to upgrade that one. And the Blizzard Sword. You'll need some blocks of ice and some gas tiers. So we're going to grab these and test them out. I know the creator actually said he couldn't think of like a good use for the Water Sword, but I think I came up with one. Basically, if you right-click, it summons water around you. So I think a good reason to use it would be if you're really high up, you know? On a tree, maybe a mountain is a better example, but I'm not actually near any right now. And you really want to come down, just, you know, right-click, and there you go. I think it's kind of cool. I like it. It's a unique ability. It can save you some time and, you know, not kill yourself trying to come down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in another iron golem just to test out, like, the weapon strength here. It's not, like, super powerful. But yeah, I can keep enemies away from me with water, and I could, like, come down from high areas as well. This one is the Ice Sword. And when you use it, it actually, like, freezes them in place. The slowness is just brutal. They can't really move. And I do have water breathing on, I forgot to mention, when I use these as well. And when I right-click with this one, what it's going to do is it's going to put, like, ice around, and even, like, a little snow golem's going to come out. So kind of cool. I like the ice pillars and the snow golem. So this one, the Blizzard Sword, it freezes everything around you. So if I spawn in a bunch of spiders, and then I right-click, it should freeze everything. So kind of cool. And when you attack with it, it's very powerful. It also, you know, it puts slowness on them as well. So now we're actually on to the combined swords. And the first one is the Ender Fire Sword. As you probably can imagine, it's a combination of both. Like, you can teleport and light things on fire. So the recipe is both swords, iron ingots in the middle, and a stick. And they're all like this, so they're really easy to combine them. And this one right here, the meteoric Thunderstorm Sword. The recipe is both swords, you know, iron ingots, and a stick. So I don't really need to show all these. They're all pretty much exactly the same. All right, so here we go. So I am going to grab my Ender Fire Sword. We'll find an enemy. I'm going to spawn in, like, one more Iron Golem. So if I hit him with it, basically, you know, he'll light on fire. But if I right-click, this one's going to teleport me and also, like, start a fire, too. So kind of cool, right? Plus, I get the ability, you know, like, I get the fire resistance. So let me take this off, and we will test out the other one. The meteoric Thunderstorm Sword. So this one, it shoots the gassed fireball, and also the lightning comes down. As you can see, the fireball kind of, like, shot across right there. Well, let me spawn in a spider right here. And if I attack normally with it, it is, of course, going to get killed by an iron golem. Those dudes are so aggressive. Let me try that one more time. All right, spider. If I attack with this, it is going to light them on fire, and they get shot back pretty far as well. So yeah, I also get the speed and the jump boost and the fire resistance. So pretty awesome. So now we're on to the Ender Thunder Sword. And this one teleports you and shoots lightning down from the sky. Same thing with the recipe. And this one is the Ender Wind Sword. So yeah, it like shoots them back, and you can also teleport with it. Same thing with the recipe with this one as well. So we'll grab both of these and test them out. So of course, Ender and Wind. So yeah, I can teleport like over there, and I get the same buffs. I get speed and jump boost. And when I attack an enemy, it will knock them very far back. So it's a combination of both swords. It's definitely very cool. And this one right here, Ender and Thunder. So I can teleport and shoot lightning down at the same time. I mean, that is pretty sick. And of course, I get all the different buffs that you got from both swords. So yeah, we are very powerful with these combined swords. So now we're on to the Thunderstorm Sword. And this one is a combination of the Wind and the Thunder Sword. And this one's actually really cool. It gives you a bunch of like awesome buffs. We'll grab that, and we will grab the Steam Sword. The Steam Sword, it knocks enemies into the sky. And this one is a combination of the water and the fire sword. So we'll grab that. And this one is the only one so far that combines three swords. The Tri-Ender Sword. So it's like a combination of the Wind Sword, the Fire Sword, and the Thunder Sword all together. So very cool. But yeah, it's going to cost you a lot because you need to use like all three swords to actually make it. So the Thunderstorm Sword, all you have to do is right click, and it gives yourself speed, jump boost, regeneration, and fire resistance. That's like the basic point of this sword. So very cool though, isn't it? And yeah, you can own enemies with it. It obviously knocks them back extremely far as well. So this one right here, the Steam Sword. Let me actually take this buff off first. And this one knocks enemies into the air. So let's get a bunch of spiders to throw into the air. Sorry, I must do this to you, spiders. But yeah, it like knocks them straight up into the air. That's kind of cool. So yeah, it actually does fall damage, so it can be pretty useful as well. This one, the Tri-Ender Sword. So if I attack, it knocks them back with the wind effect and lights them on fire. And when I right click, I get like fire, lightning, and all kinds of buffs on me too. So yeah, this one is like the most comboed sword that there is so far. So guys, we made it past all the complicated stuff, and now we are on to the Light Sword. 2 gas tiers, 2 gold nuggets, and a blaze rod to craft it. And it's pretty cool looking too. And then you can upgrade it to the Light Nether Sword. You just need glowstone and a nether star. So yeah, this one is not cheap to make. So we'll grab these. And the Light Sword, it like puts effects on your enemy. I think it is blindness and weakness. Alright, so come here, Iron Golem. So if I attack him, yeah, blindness and weakness for a long time too. And if you right click with it, it gives you night vision. It's supposed to make you invisible, but for some reason, it's not working. But yeah, I got night vision, so definitely cool at nighttime. So now we're on to the Light Nether Sword, and this one puts the same effects on them. But also, if you right click, you actually get absorption for 30 seconds. Like if he hits me, didn't even hurt, bro. That didn't even hurt. So yeah, pretty cool. Very useful sword, but of course, if he hits me one more time, it's going to be very painful. So now we're on to the Dark Sword, and the recipe for this one is obsidian, spider's eyes, and a blaze rod. And you can upgrade it to the Dark Nether Sword. And once again, you're going to need a nether star, so yeah, another expensive sword. And guys, I did forget to mention 1 second ago that actually the Light Nether Sword also gets rid of blindness and the wither effect. So keep that in mind. That's probably one reason it's so expensive. Alright, so let's test these out. And this one is the Dark Sword. So yeah, this one actually puts effects on your enemy as well. it should do wither and blindness. So yeah, that is really useful. It's going to take a ton of damage from this sword, obviously. And when you right click it, I don't know why you'd right click with this one. Basically, it makes you completely blind. It gives you night vision, invisibility, and blindness. And of course, when you have night vision and I think blindness at the same time, it makes you not able to see anything at all. I can't see a thing. Except for the scary freaking sun, my god. So the Dark Nether Sword is actually pretty cool. So of course you can fight with it and give the same effects, but also you can be like the Wither. And now I can actually shoot like his skulls. That's like a bad example. Let me get into the air here. Yeah, there we go. So I can shoot his skulls at my enemies. And yeah, that is pretty sick. I feel like I'm actually the Wither with this one. So I can imagine why it's so expensive to craft it. So the next one is the Time Sword. And this one is a combination of the light and the dark sword. And yeah, basically what it does is it changes the time of day. Right now it's daytime. Now it's nighttime. Right click again. Daytime. And yeah, it actually gives you night vision too, and also invisibility, which is going to be really useful because, you know, if you turn it to night, you actually want to be able to see. So we are actually on to the last sword, the Beast Sword. Probably my favorite name out of every single one. The recipe is bones, iron ingots, blaze rods, and also a stick. So with this one, what we can do is we can right click and it's going to summon in a wolf, but this one's kind of glitchy. Like I hear it, I'm assuming it summoned it underneath the ground and it's dying. But a couple times I actually did have it work, but I've had a lot of problems with this one. Trying to summon it in. But also, it does give you a speed buff as well. So guys, there's actually one more thing to show, and there's a bunch of different, like, essences. And you can see right here, like, the recipe for the fire essence is burning a meteor sword. Basically, the reason you'd want to do this is it's another way to upgrade your weapons. I can use it with an iron sword to create a fire sword, 2 of it to make a meteor sword. And yeah, a lot of these different ones, even like the Ender Fire with 2 of the different essences. A lot of the different swords you have, you can smelt them to get essence, and then you could eventually use these to upgrade some of your swords. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not going to go like in depth with it. It's actually pretty simple. You're probably going to want not enough items to see exactly what you can do. But yeah, if I take an Ender Essence and a Thunder Essence with an Iron Sword, I can make an Ender Thunder Sword. So yeah, it's pretty cool and a pretty interesting thing they added into the mod. So yeah, that's about all there is to show with this mod. It adds in tons of epic swords. If you want to check it out, the download is in the description. And of course, you enjoyed the review, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. It really does help me out, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.